Every morning, Jason would wake up feeling like a 1,000-pound weight was sitting on his chest. Not because he was physically unwell, but because stress had become his shadow. He was 35, working a demanding job in sales, juggling deadlines, bills, and the pressure to be successful. From the outside, he looked like someone who had it all together. A steady job, a rented apartment in the city, a car, but inside, Jason felt like he was barely holding it all up. Every email notification made his heart jump. Every phone call from his manager made his stomach tighten. Even weekends didn't feel like a break. He'd lie in bed, scrolling through social media, comparing himself to old college friends who seemed to be doing better. Happier families, better homes, bigger smiles. He'd think, what am I doing wrong? The stress wasn't just in his mind. It started to show up in his body. Headaches, tight shoulders, constant fatigue. He couldn't sleep properly, and even on the rare days when he did, he'd wake up tired. One Friday evening, after a long day of hearing no from clients, Jason finally broke down. He sat in his car, hands on the wheel, parked outside his apartment. He didn't cry. He just felt numb. Something had to change. That weekend, Jason didn't go out. He didn't answer work calls or open his laptop. Instead, he cleaned his small kitchen, made himself pancakes, and sat on his balcony with a cup of coffee. He watched the sun rise through the clouds. For the first time in weeks, the air didn't feel so heavy. It was such a small thing, so simple, but it mattered. He started thinking, maybe the stress wasn't just about work. Maybe it was also about how he carried it, how he let it fill every quiet moment of his life, how he never gave himself permission to breathe. He started paying attention. On Monday, he got to work 10 minutes early. Instead of rushing into emails, he sat in his car and listened to a song he loved when he was 20. It reminded him of a time when he felt lighter, freer. He began doing this every day, just 10 minutes before work to be, without tasks, without performance, without pressure. That small space became his daily ritual, a reset button. As Jason started slowing down in moments that didn't demand urgency, he noticed something surprising. He felt more focused when he needed to be. He wasn't snapping at colleagues. He remembered more details during meetings. He had more patience with clients. The stress didn't vanish, but it no longer had the same grip on him. One night, while scrolling the internet, he stumbled upon a quote from William Shakespeare that struck him deeply. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. It echoed in his mind for days. What if the stress wasn't just in the workload, but in how he viewed it? What if he had the power to shape how much space it took up in his life? Jason decided to dig a little deeper. He found research on how the body responds to stress. It turns out, when we're stressed, our body releases a hormone called cortisol, sometimes called the stress hormone. In short bursts, it helps us focus and react quickly. But when cortisol levels stay high for a long time, like in constant pressure from work or life, it starts to wear us down. High cortisol levels over time can lead to anxiety, poor sleep, weakened immunity, and even memory problems. It explained everything he'd been feeling: his exhaustion, his foggy thinking, his irritability. And here's the surprising part. Research also shows that it's not just the amount of stress that affects us. It's how we view stress. A study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that people who experienced high stress but didn't believe it was harmful had better health outcomes than those who saw stress as damaging. That blew Jason's mind. Could it really be that how he thought about stress mattered as much as the stress itself? He began to change the story he was telling himself. Instead of, "I'm so overwhelmed, I can't handle this," he started saying, "This is hard, but I'll get through it." Instead of spiraling when a deal fell through, he told himself, "It's disappointing, but it's not the end of everything." He started protecting small moments of peace during his day. A walk without his phone, cooking dinner while playing jazz in the background, taking deep breaths at red lights, letting himself smile even on days that weren't perfect. He learned to live in the moment. Not just the good ones, but the ordinary ones. The messy, imperfect, unpredictable ones. He found joy in small things: steam rising from a cup of tea, the sound of rain on his window, a kind text from a friend. These became anchors, gentle reminders that even though life was stressful, it could still be beautiful. He didn't quit his job or win the lottery, but something bigger changed: the way he saw his life. One night, Jason was sitting with a friend who had just lost his job. The friend was panicking, spiraling. Jason listened and said quietly, "I know it's hard. I've been there. But you're going to get through this. Just don't let the stress steal your peace." His friend asked, "How do you do it? How do you stay calm?" Jason smiled. "I don't always, but I've learned one thing. Stress doesn't have to ruin your happiness. You just have to stop giving it all the power." And maybe that's the message we all need to hear. Yes, life is stressful. There are deadlines, bills, sick parents, breakups, layoffs. But that doesn't mean you can't laugh today. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy your lunch, or play with your dog, or dance to your favorite song in your pajamas. Stress doesn't get to decide when you're allowed to be happy. You do. So if you're feeling weighed down by pressure, by the endless to-do list, by expectations, you're not alone. But don't wait for the stress to end before you start living. Life doesn't pause just because it's hard. Right now, in this moment, you can choose to take a breath, to find something beautiful, to remind yourself you've survived 100% of your hardest days. You are not your stress. You are not your job title. You are not your unpaid bills or unread emails. You are a person with strength inside you, a person who can choose peace even in chaos. So, take that walk, laugh at something silly, tell someone you love them, be present, because your happiness isn't waiting for you at the end of your problems. It's right here, right now, and you deserve it.